Okay, Unit 7 review. This is a lot of information. Now, I had started this problem, but then my battery died, and I didn't want to make two separate videos, so we're going to start it from scratch. I've got some junk written on the graph. I'll take you through it. Write an equation in slope-intercept form of the line. So we write y equals blank x plus blank. We got to find the m and the b, and this is the answer. You need to put the m and b into the equation, not just tell me what the m and the b are. So b, remember what these mean. M is the line slope, and b is the y-intercept. So here's my y-axis. The line, it crosses right there. That's point 1. Now where is that? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're at 5 on the y-axis. Then I pick a point to the right, another point, to go with point 1. Right there would be the second point. Now the slope is a ratio, so from the first point to the second point, the top is how far up or down you are from point 1 to point 2. So you have to go down 2, so negative 2 is your top, and you have to go forward 3. So negative 2 over 3, negative 2/3 is the slope, and there's your answer. Okay, number 2, same thing. Blank x plus blank, so you have m and b. So m is the slope, b is the y-intercept. So on the y-axis, right there is where you cross. So that's up 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is your y-intercept. That's your b. Okay, now pick a point 2. It'd be right here. Okay. Now, this is point 1, this is point 2. So you have to go up 1. So positive 1 is your numerator. And then your forward 2, that's your denominator. So 1 over 2. Now, somebody's going to be like, what if I pick it right there? Well, that's fine. Your fraction won't be reduced. So if you pick it closest to point 1, then your fraction's reduced. Okay. So y equals 1/2 x plus 4. Okay, now your job is to take the equation and graph the line using slope and y-intercept. So first, here's the first thing you ask. Do you have y and do you have x in the equation? Y equals 4x minus 3. Yes, we have y, we have x, so we can find the slope and y-intercept. Is the y by itself? Yes. Okay. So then I have my m and my b over here. So slope is 4, apply a 1 underneath it, and then the y-intercept is minus 3. Okay? So on the y-axis, you go negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Then from there, you go up 4 because it's positive, right 1. Then you take a ruler and graph it. I don't have any rulers at my house, so I'm just going to make a crappy line like that. Arrows on both ends, please, okay? Because it is continuous. Number 4, negative 3x plus 5y equals 15. Do you have x and do you have y? Yes, you have both of them. I'll put both. So we need to find the slope and y-intercept. Is the y by itself? No, it's not. So we need to change the equation so the y is by itself. So y has a multiplication of 5. It's positive 5, so that's good. You put a check mark. Remember, if it's negative, you got to change all the things to opposite, but it's positive. Then we're going to take out this 3x. We're going to put a 0x there, so 3x has a dancing partner. Then you add it to 0x. Then you line up your equals and you put 5 times y. Then you write x first, and you don't put the 15 first. You put x first, and you're going to have 3x, because 0 plus 3 is 3 plus the 15. Now we divide everything by the 5 multiplying number. So that gets rid of the times 5 to the x, and now y is by itself. Now 3 divided by 5 is a decimal, so I want to keep it 3 over 5. We don't want decimals. 3/5. Then I take 15 divided by 5, and that's 3. Now the y is by itself. Now I have my m and b. Now I can graph my slope and my line using the slope y-intercept method. So the slope is 3/5 and the y-intercept is +3. So y, 1, 2, 3. Then up 3, forward 5. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm off the graph, so I'll just graph it with the 2 points. And there we go. Okay. Arrow, arrow, because it goes forever. Number 5, y equals 7. Do you have y and x? No, you don't. So you can't find the slope and y-intercept. So, which letter are you missing? You're missing the x. So we have to switch to a completely different process. We're going to make 3 coordinates. And the letter I'm not missing is 7, y equals 7. So all of the y's are filled in with 7 values. Now the letter we're missing, we can put anything we want, but let's keep it simple. Let's just put a 1, a 2, and a 3. Okay? So this is x, this is y. So x is 1 here, and then y, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 7. Okay? 2, 7. So 2 on x is here, 7 on y is here, and then 3, 7. 3 on x is here, 7 on y is here. So it's a straight horizontal line which does not have a slope. It has a slope of 0. Okay? Now, number 6, get rid of those directions, get rid of that equation, and I want you to write x equals -2. So number 6, do you have y, do you have x? No, you're missing one of them. So missing the y. So if I'm missing the y, we can't do the MB method because you can only do that when you have an x and a y. So just do your 3 coordinate method. So the letter I'm not missing is x this time. So x is -2. And then y, the one I'm missing, that can be whatever. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so -2, 1. So x is -2's over here, and then 1 on y is here. Now, -2 on x, 2 on y. So -2 on x is here, 2 on y is here. Then -2, 3. So -2 and 3. Okay. So it is a straight up and down line. Okay, so that is an undefined slope. Okay, and that's your graphing. You're going to get more graphs here in a bit. Okay, write an equation of a line with the following traits. Writing an equation of a line is always we're using y equals blank x plus blank. This is m, this is b. I just got to find m and b and I have the answer. Well, m is -2 here, so that's easy. Now b is y equals m times x plus b. So m is -2, x, y that, and then 3 replaces the y, and -2 replaces the x. So b plus, you always want to put your variable first in a plus problem. -2 times -2 is 4. So we have a +4, we need to -4. So 3 minus 4 is -1, -1 equals b. There we have it. Okay. Number 7, I need to come up with the same exact type of equation, but I have to find my m this time because all it's telling me is that it goes through -1, -5, and then another point is 2 and 10. Well, if I don't know my m, if I don't know my slope, then I use y minus y, x minus x. Now, in order to use this, okay, you have to start with your higher x. So if I have a -1 and a 2, I want to start with the 2 because 2 is higher. So I put 10 over 2. Then after it, I put -5 and -1. Now, when I minus a negative, that's like adding the positive. So the top is 15. Minus negative is like adding the positives. That's 3. Now you divide those, and it's 5. So m is 5. Now b is the same stuff. Y equals m times x plus b. So m is 5, okay? And then I'll use the 10, 2. You can use either point for x and y, but pick one of them. I'll pick this one. I'll go 10 and then 5 times 2. So b plus 5 times 2 is 10. Then I minus 10, minus 10. 10 minus 10 is 0. 0 equals b. Okay, next page, number 8. Parallel to the line, we're still doing the same thing, okay? You're still writing the same form of the equation. So, parallel to the line y equals negative 5x plus 2 through 1, negative 4. Now the m, I have to use the parallel rule, which means parallel lines have the same m, okay? Put same m above that. So in this given equation, y is by itself, so I know what the m and b are right away. I don't care about the b. So if the m on this equation is negative 5, my equation needs the same m, negative 5. And then b, y equals m times x plus b. So m is negative 5. And then we apply negative 4 for y, and then 1 for x. So b plus negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. Then add 5, add 5. Negative 4 plus 5 is 1. 1 equals b. Okay. Now, next thing. Now it says perpendicular to the line y equals 2/3 x plus 7 through negative 6, 3. So MB. Okay. Now, the word perpendicular means we need to flip the m, not use the same m, and then make it the opposite sign. Okay? So again, the y is by itself, and we have mb. I don't care what their b is, but I need to flip the m to 3/2, and then make it the opposite sign. If it doesn't have a sign here, it's positive. Well, that means I have to switch mine to a negative. So it'd be negative 3/2. So then by equals m times x plus b. Then my m is negative 3/2. So 3 is y, and then negative 6 is x. B plus, that's 9. Okay, so then I subtract 9. 3 minus 9 is negative 6. Negative 6 equals b. Now, on the test, on these kind of equations with an absolute value, I am going to put a V shape. Okay, these will not make lines. So these are V's. Remember, the middle of the V is known as the vertex. So we have the vertex start, which is always going to be the coordinate 0, 0, but I don't want to graph that because then there's a vertex finish. Now, to find the x, circle the inside, okay? Now, it says there's an operation inside, it's a -4. If it's inside, it does the opposite to the x. So I see a -2, okay? I need a +2. So that takes my x to 2. Now, do you have any outside operations, okay? If it's outside, it does the same, not the opposite, the same to the y. But I don't have anything outside, so that's just going to stay at 0. Now 2, 0, so this is the x line. I got to go to 2. 0, 1, 2. The y is 0, so I just stay there. So I just make a point there on x. Now I go, make my v, because I found the vertex, all I need to find, and then I make the rest of the points. Okay, y equals the absolute value of x plus 3. This is not the same as the last one. Oh, it's a V still, but it's vertex start and vertex finish. The start's always 0, 0. But the finish, on the other hand, you circle the absolute value. You don't have any operations. Okay, so there is no change to the x. Remember, inside does the opposite to x, but there is no inside operation. Now, outside, you have a plus 3. That does the same to the y, which should be 3. So 0 on x stays right in the middle, but then on y, got to go up to 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So forward 1, up 1, left 1, up 1, forward 1, left 1, forward 1, left 1. They don't take a long time, but you have to know how to set it up, okay? Okay, there aren't this many V on the graph, but I want to practice it, okay? Another V shape, okay? Vertex start and vertex finish. So the vertex start 0, 0. But the finish, circle the inside, and you see a plus 2. Inside does the opposite to our x, which is minus 2, so it would take our x to negative 2. Now there is nothing outside, so that would keep our y at 0. Y. Okay, so 0, negative 1, negative 2. Okay, next problem. Y equals the absolute value of x minus 4. Vertex start and vertex finish. You have nothing inside, okay? So the x stays, okay? But outside you have a minus 4. That operates on the y. It's not the opposite, it's the same. So 0 minus 4 is negative 4. Okay? So x, y. So 0 on x is just right in the middle, then negative 4 on y. Okay? There you have it. Okay, now story problems. 3 story problems. A sailboat begins a voyage with 145 pounds of food. The crew's supply decreases by 15 pounds per day. What that means is that'll be a negative 15. How many days did the voyage take if the crew has 25 pounds of food remaining at the end? This should not be a hard problem. The next one is, but this one ain't. Pounds and days. Days is x, pounds is y. Now we find the slope. Pounds per day. Well, we know the pounds per day. They decrease by 15 pounds per day, so it'd be negative 15 times x. Now make a table with days for x and pounds for y. So go 0, 1, 2, okay? When you have this number here, you see exactly what the rate of change is, the m. This is also known as your m. When you have that, you go 0, 1, 2, because you know where you started at. You started with 145 pounds, and then you start adding a negative 15 every day. So when I add negative 15, I go down to 130. When I add negative 15, I go down to 115. Then line that, and you have 25 pounds. 25 pounds, and we got to find how many days that took. So now make your line. Put your equals y. Now, this negative 15 dot x, that's the line slope, okay? Now, the first number you had was 145, and that's your equation. So we have 145 plus negative 15 times x equals y, and then we put y equal to 25 so that I can find this x. So 145 plus negative 15 times x equals 25. So I got to get rid of the operations to the x, because x is not by itself. You got a plus and a times, so you take out the plus, because x is what we have to solve for. Okay, 25 minus 145 is negative 120, and that's fine because I'm going to divide a negative by a negative then, which will give me the positive. And negative 120 divided by negative 15 is 8. Okay, so it took 8 days to get to 25 pounds. Okay, next problem. This next one's a nasty one. After 2 days of painting, 56 gallons of paint remain in the container. After 5 days of painting, 20 gallons of paint remain in the container. How many days of painting can we do with a full container of paint at this rate before it runs out to 0 gallons? So do your box and your table. So we're going to have days and gallons. X is days, Y is gallons. Now, this is going to be harder than the last one, much harder, many more steps, because I do not have the gallons per day rate. No, it's not 56, it's not 20. Put a question mark there. And if you put a question mark, put an M right there, because you're going to find that the same way you find M. Now, on your table, I don't go 0, 1, 2 if this is a question mark. I put a 0 and then I block off. Now, X is days, Y is gallons. So what do you have for days? You have 2 days, 5 days, and that's it. Now, gallons, what do you have? You have 56, and that's with the 2, not with the 0. You have 20, and that's with the 5. Then you have 0 down here, and we don't have days with that. That's the answer to the problem. Now, this up here I put a B label on, okay? So anytime I have a B, I need to come back here and use my Y minus Y, X minus X, because I'm going to need that to find the B on Y equals MX plus B. Because I have X and Y, I just need to have an M, which is where this comes from. So X, start with your highest X, which would be 20 over 5, and then 56 over 2. So that's going to give you negative 36 over 3. Now you divide those, and it's negative 12, okay, times X. That's your slope, okay? So when you go to make your line, you know that your slope is negative 12 times X, but you still don't know where you started, okay? Well, that's when I apply Y equals M times X plus B. So the M is negative 12. Then I gotta have an X and a Y. So X is 2. Or let's go X, you can go 256 or 520. I'll go 5 with 20. So Y is 20, and then I will multiply the negative 12 by 5. So B plus, negative 12 times 5 is negative 60. Then I plus 60, and 80 equals B. So there's the equation, okay? So 80 plus negative 12 times X equals Y, okay? Y equals 0. Okay, 80 plus negative 12 times X equals 0, okay? Then plus and times, you minus your 80, minus your 80, negative 12 times X, 0 minus 80 is negative 80, and you divide by negative 12. Now you get kind of a nasty decimal, okay? So go 6 or 7, I don't care. I go 7, go up. So it takes 7 days before it runs out. Okay, last problem. This should not be all that hard. Don't do part B. Don't do it. Okay, don't do part B. The table shows the balance of a student's bank account at various times, weeks. That's X, because that's time. 0, he had $35. 1, he had 68. 3, he had 85. 4, 105. 9, 136. Okay, graph a scatter plot. That's correct, and then write an equation for the line. So we have to get all the points down. So weeks X, that goes 0 to 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, then my account balance, look up here. You start at 30. So not 30 here, 30 goes here, this is 0, okay? Then you start adding 20 every time, and stop when you're above 136. So plus 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, stop and start making your points. So 0.37, okay? 0.35, my bad. Then 168, just get it between 385, okay? 4, 105, and then 9, 136. Now it's not exactly a straight line, so you put your ruler on the first point and just draw a line through the points, okay? Might look different than mine, and that's okay. Okay, now you got to write an equation of the line, you're done. Y equals blank x plus blank mb. Now, on this problem, you're going to want to make a little table, x, y. You always want to write your first point in. That helps a lot, okay? Now you pick 2 points close to your line. I'm going to go with the one above the 1 and the one above the 4, okay? So I put 168 into my table, and then 4, 105 into the table. Now, to find my m, I apply y minus y, x minus x. So start with your higher x, it would be 4, so it would be 105 over 4. And then 68 over 1. So that gives you 37 over 3, okay? Just put 12.33, or you can just put what you want, but it's got to be close. 12.33. So it means it's going up by about 12.33 every year. And then the b, you don't have to, you can do y equals m times x plus b if you want, but you're wasting time, because if you have a number to go with the 0, this is your b, 35. And there you have it.